fashion I have is by default. I never know where I'm going. I never know what I'm getting. And you'll see change over time. But that's what it is to be a fucking human on this planet. Rather than any other animal. Any other animal on this planet generally is just an animal without us interfering. They're doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out. They follow the seasons, they follow the food, and we keep fucking things up. We don't follow the seasons. I mean, look at the Russians. They're going in fucking Ukraine in the middle of winter. I was on spring break in Ukraine in it was 97 when Halibut was flying over, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then find out after this great big experience that there was a comet passing over and weird shit's gonna go on. And I was sleeping in the mud, huddled together for warmth. We started out on the ice with Thayer and Supak and watching the damn mafia at the coffee fucking tent in the park, and wake up in mud because your body heat has fucking melted all the ice under you and you're just all muddy. You get what you pay for. If you didn't pay anything at all, I guess this is what you get. But I remember I saw the Russians moving into Chernobyl and taking over Chernobyl. I'm like, you fucking guys. And you think about it, you say, I wouldn't fucking go in there. And maybe those kids that were 18, 19 don't know the history of Chernobyl, so they just followed orders. But I say, I wouldn't go in there. But when I think about it, sure you would. But I've never been to that extent. We were in a chemical fucking area in Al-Basra. They just call it Basra now, but we were there the first time, so we called it by the name that they fucking had, Al-Basra in Iraq. And I was with Chuck Marlack and Staff Sergeant Marlack, and he was part of the chemical battalion in the 82nd Airborne Division. It was like the first time really you got to know people that you were jointly in contact with, like the Air Force TAC. It's where I met Meat. You know, you really got to know these people other than just exercises where you'd see them every once in a while. You were there for 6-8 months. And you befriended these people. So we're held up outside of Al-Basra, and Staff Sergeant Marlack, guy that was important to his battalion and the information that came through, it was like they sent out a Fox chemical vehicle. They go out to test to see if you're in a chemical area. They look for chemical weapons in the air and shit like that. And they came back and yeah, there's chemical fucking shit in the air here. And I was like, oh, wow. Had no idea. And now, then they denied in a couple of days that there was anything there. And then I get letters every year or two saying I'm supposed to fucking say whether I've had any strange feelings or anything since then, having been in an area like that. Well, I can't tell them that. Look at those chemicals. They may kill other people, but what they did was they made me Clark Kent. They gave me powers that I should not be sharing. If I expect to hold my freedom, they'll have me in a facility somewhere fucking going, ah. You know, he always had to take his eyes down, otherwise it would burn the fucking holes right between the glasses. You know, you can't be replacing your glasses every day. Take them down a little bit. It makes me realize that I really don't have the right to say whether I would have gone into some place that I knew was fucking polluted. Because, in truth, I was with Major Temple, who became Lieutenant General Temple, in charge of the whole division of engineers in the Army Corps of Engineers in the U.S., doing bridges and things like that, dams, and trying to control the environmental stuff, you know, keep things good. Major Temple was a great man who became a great general. And he was very important at the time when I was driving for him. I got to see all kinds of things. They would not have sent somebody that important into a place that was going to get him killed. So, even though I was in a chemical area, they didn't do it to us on purpose. Interesting thing is, he died of cancer a few years ago. Last time I had any communication with him, he was working in the Capitol and he seemed just fine. He was in the Pentagon at that time. Probably 2008. Then he broke off communication because I started speaking Chinese. And I guess if you're working in the Pentagon, you don't want Elderquist speaking Chinese to you. Your fucking driver, that's Cato. His man, Cato. Which for some reason is what they called me. And they wouldn't have sent him in someplace dangerous, knowing it. So I never had to deal with the idea, am I really going to be driving in here? I might have said no. Good soldier physically, but hard to get my mind. I might have said no. So you got these soldiers going into Chernobyl because they're told to. It does what it's told. It puts the lotion on. And they dig their own fucking pit. And you're saying they're digging trenches in this shit and driving fucking tanks all over it, blowing up dust, and now they're all and they're fucking dying off, and they're trying to get the bodies out of there, the stuff they say on the fucking news. I don't know. Gotta believe something if it makes enough sense. Not like believing something that's totally whacked just because you don't want to be proven wrong. You're like, yeah, that's true. But why were they going and taking Chernobyl? These trenches explain it. Where did the dirt go from those trenches that they were digging? Did they load it up in dump trucks? Or did they build berms out of it for their own protection? This, I don't know. But there's a total possibility. Talk about conspiracy theory. In a day when it's okay to be conspiratorial theoretically. They're probably loading them into dump trucks and they're going to put them in some kind of fucking thing that can blow over a fucking city and just covered in dust, and everybody walking in there within days or weeks is just going to be fucking collapsing and dying because they're fucking radiated. They've poised him for death. They've got him set up. They've poisoned him with radiation. That's what they're gonna say. Because I can't see any other reason for wanting to take Chernobyl unless you want a nice pair of glasses you really don't need.